Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's TMs here. Today we're going to be going through a complete comprehensive guide on cells in the tower. If you're new to the game, you might not know what cells are. We'll explain that very quickly, but even if you know what cells are and you think you have a grasp on them, there might be something you can learn from this video, because I've figured out kind of like how to fully optimize your cells and just some tips that I've learned along the way. So if you guys enjoy the video, I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Feel free to hit that button down below, or just, you know, say hi in the comment section, and I'll see you guys down there. So if you don't know what cells are, basically it's a currency that you get when you kill these enemies right here, most commonly like vampire, rain, scatters. And what they do is, if you hop into the lab section, you might have noticed it already, but on the top right corner you have your cells displayed right there. And then also, if you click your speed up button, this menu will pop up. Basically how this menu works, you just have 3 time options: 1 hour, 8 hour, 24, and then you can also adjust the actual speed up value. So with each increased value, the price will also go up. So if you can see, 1 point times 5 for 24 hours is 360 cells. And then if you go to times 3, it's actually 20k cells. It's going to take you kind of a while to pass the 1.5 benchmark. And then each increasing in time is another benchmark that takes a long time to pass. In this video, I'm going to go over kind of how you can calculate what you can afford very simply, and then also give you some tips and strategies on how to use your cells most efficiently. So by far, and it's not even close, the easiest way to calculate what you can afford to speed up and at what speed is by far using Project Rend. If you don't know what Project Rend is, I'll put a video down below in the description for you guys. I highly suggest you downloading Project Rend, and especially this tool here, it's very useful. So if you are in Project Rend and you see on the left side, you go to your farming page, and you can see that when you insert your runs, it's going to give you the cells stats that you have. So if you look right here, and I'll zoom in for you on screen, it gives me my cells per hour. And then also right here where you click cells in the last 24 hours, this I button, it explains exactly what you can afford for the labs. I'm not a math guy. I don't know if you are, maybe you are, but I don't enjoy doing math. So this does all the math for you. As you can see in my account, I can afford 3 labs at 2 times and 2 at 3 times. That is on the best case scenario of a day, because I did do some long runs yesterday. So I know from my own experience that I'm actually safer to do 2 labs at times 3 and actually 3 labs at times 2. But that's just because I know where I'm at right now. But this will give you at least your baseline. It also shows you what you need to hit to get to your next milestone. So as you can see, if you want 5 labs at 1.5 times speed, you need to be generating 1.8k cells in the 24-hour period. For times 2, it is 12k. For times 3, it is 100k cells. Times 4, 400k. Times 5, 1.43 million. And times 6, 7.2 million. So right away, that is useful information for you. Use that as you will. Maybe you kind of know how much cells you generate already, so that will help you right there to know if you're getting close to the next milestone. And it's very impactful to hit like the next milestone in your lab speed up. Like for example, when you're at 1.5 times, and then when you go to 2 times, it feels really great. So now I want to cover, how do we increase the amount of cells that we are going to gain? I would say 3 different ways that you can do this. The first and most simple way, it's going to happen naturally. You're going to start to gain more cells as you upgrade your tower, and that is due to the higher waves that you start farming at in your runs, the more cells you will get. The reason why is simple, because the higher waves that you are at, the chance of getting vampire, scatter, and ray enemies go up. They go up to a maximum of 33% in the run, and The higher waves that you're farming where they're at 33%, you're going to be maximizing your cells in that run. The next way that you can increase the amount of cells is actually what tier you are farming. So if you're farming tier 1, the maximum amount of cells that an enemy can grant you is 1 cell. When you start farming tier 2, it ends up becoming the max is 2. Tier 3 is 3, all the way up until I think tier 14, and then the minimum will drop. So let's give the example that I'm in run. Farming tier 9, that means that any enemy can grant me up to 9 cells per kill, and it can be anywhere between 1 and 9 cells per kill. When you start factoring the waves you're farming and the tiers that you're farming, the third way that you can increase your cells is through upgrading. The first avenue for cells in upgrades will be in your enhancement tab. There is a cells per kill bonus that you can upgrade with coins. The next way that you can increase your cells is with the ultimate weapon Death Wave. So what Death Wave will do once unlocked in the lab after, and you can upgrade this lab to increase the bonus, extra cells bonus applied to elites hit by effect wave or Death Wave. So this only accounts for when your Death Wave does its quantity, like the effect waves. So anything that gets tagged by that, and then also if you have the Death Wave ring going, anything that gets killed by that will apply that bonus. In run, I do not get a 1x8 bonus the whole time. It's only when my Death Wave actually triggers where I get the bonus. So that's a misconception that some people have, including myself. I did before. In the lab for this will be Death Wave cell bonus. There is the lab that I was talking about. You can upgrade that all the way to ×3. So the last avenue that you can increase your cells is through card masteries. There's 2 different card masteries that I would say directly impact your cells, and then obviously, like I said in the first tip, any mastery at this point is going to increase your cells in terms of higher tier and more waves. But the 2 main card masteries that directly impact your cells is enemy balance. It is enemy balance because it has a chance to double elite spawns. So the more elites that spawn, obviously the more cells that you are going to gain. The way card masteries work, if you don't know, you have to unlock them with stones after you have hit a milestone, and also you have to have all the cards unlocked. Then you can unlock masteries with stones, and then you can upgrade the masteries in the lab with your coins. Now, any other card mastery that you will be getting, if it is something that directly impacts your farming runs, that will also in turn maybe at a lower rate than those other 2, but they will help your cell income also. So now that we know how to maximize our cells, let's go through just quick tips about how to actually optimize using your cells. So you should always have like a tier list in your head of what you're upgrading, what's most important to you. Other factors such as the time of the lab. It might not be the most important lab for you, but maybe it's a longer lab that you're researching at the moment. I kind of tier list them for myself. So right now in lab 1, the most important lab that I want to upgrade quickest is black hole coin bonus. So as you can see, I'm running 2 labs at ×3 and then 3 labs at ×2, or I can always know what I want to use first and the most cells for first, especially when you cannot afford like all 5 labs at the same speed. This is important to kind of realize for yourself. Another thing, when you're in the middle of kind of like half at ×2 and half at ×3, or any half way in between, like any benchmark, once you know that, for example, I can always afford, and this is even on like a bad day of farming, I can always afford 1 lab at ×3 and the rest at ×2. So that first lab I'll always have at ×3 24 hours, because I know that no matter what, unless I stop playing the game for a couple of days, I will be able to afford this. But in my case, lab 2, there are certain times where if I have like a bad run, let's say I die early for whatever reason, or I forget to do an overnight run, it impacts me in terms of affording the second ×3. So what I actually do with that is I keep it at 8 hours speed. That's because, like, let's say I do have to go to ×2 speed, I'm not locked in for 24 hours. So That's why I keep it at the 8 hours, is because then hopefully in 8 hours I can afford the ×3 speed. And it's a min-max approach, but I think it's something, if you can understand that concept and start utilizing, it will help you. So guys, that's the end of the video now. If you guys learned anything new, feel free to leave a like on the video, and stay tuned for more guides like this. I'm gonna be posting videos every week, and if you guys enjoyed, make sure you say hi in the comments. I'll be down there, and have a good day. Hope this will help you speed up the labs.